Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is going to be the tutorial for this wrap, which is going to be the Israeli ruffle wrap for a reason, because it is sort of a hybrid between the Israeli turban and the side ruffle wrap. So I'm going to try to link both videos that I did on those individual wraps on the Israeli turban and on the side ruffle wrap in the description box down below if you want to if you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about. And we're going to do a combination wrap out of these two wraps. So I thought that was really, that was just such a great thing, because I personally love both of these wraps and it just makes sense to just pull them together into one, you know? This video is of course, as always, in collaboration with Wrapunzel, which means that everything that you see here that is wrapping related has been lovingly provided by Wrapunzel, and you will find of course everything linked in the description box down below. I will at the end of the video also specify a little bit more because there is something special with one of the scarves that I'm using today. Then also I want to tell you that at the end of the video I'm going to show you a bit of a trick how you can go from this to a very simple wrap in just like 2 seconds, and that might be very helpful for people who just cannot carry a lot of weight all the time. Plus this wrap is absolutely suitable for just doing it with smaller shapers and doing it with like smaller scarves, like very lightweight scarves, if you have a problem with, you know, any weight on your head. So you can absolutely do that and it's still going to look gorgeous. So I hope you're going to have a nice playtime, and without further ado, let's go right into the video. Okay my lovelies, welcome to the tutorial part, and for that I'm wearing the Wendy shaper. You can of course wear something else, whatever you want. And now I'm going to take the Pedal Soft, as you know, one of my most favorite scarf in the Wrapunzel collection, and I'm going to, maybe I should introduce it to you because not everybody knows. So the Pedal Soft looks like this. It has a bit of a wavy structure in it, and they're all monochromatic. They're always like one color, and they don't have like really long fringes, but they have like this little, like a little fluff going on, you know? And they are some of the most amazing scarves that are super lightweight, but absolutely you can pack them on and get some volume also. It's like, I'm repeating myself, I know, like if you have watched several of my tutorials already, you know that I'm the biggest fan of the Pedal Soft. So anyway, this one here comes in a rich purple. That is the color that is listed on the website, and I'm going to just fold it in here. As you can see, maybe I folded it in a little bit, and now I'm going to place it down with both ends hanging down more or less equal. So now you have to decide where you're going to have the poofy part. Okay, so for me, as always, it's going to be on this side, because this is the side that I'm always putting everything that is extra, because this is the side with the earring. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to put it, like I'm going to move it a little bit towards the side, so on that side where the poofy part will be, the ruffle, it hangs down longer. Okay, so now what I'm doing, and you don't necessarily have to do that. Actually, you know what, let's just do it like I would suggest it for you, because not everybody needs a knot behind the head. So I'm just going to skip that part, because usually, like in my private life, I would do that. I would tie a knot here and then just tie another knot somewhere else, but I'm going to spare you this. I'm just going to cross over in the back. Now of course we have a short end and a long end. Now I'm going to bring it up just like that, just here in the front, sort of sort it out a tiny little bit, and then I'm going to tie a knot here like that. Okay, so now again, if you work a little bit more tidy than I do, then you should have both ends more or less the same length, but didn't turn out that way for me. Doesn't matter, it's not that crucial. It's all gonna come together. Don't worry for one bit about it. Okay, and I'm just pushing my shaper in all around, And now I have this hanging here for now, okay? So let's just ignore this for now. So the next thing I want to use is this one, which is a pashmina. I'm not 100% sure which one, like what kind that is, honestly, because this was an exclusive to my last Leorah kit, which was the winter inspired Leorah kit. And I don't know when you're going to see this, if that is still available or not, as when I'm filming this, it is still available. So this is a very, very light lavender blue kind of a pashmina, and it has on the other side, it leans a little bit more towards like a very, very light pink. So I thought back then when I chose that scarf that this is awesome, just to be like a winter inspired, like Elsa and Anna kind of a thing, like a Frozen thing. Okay, so this is one, if you cannot have this because it was exclusive to the kit and the kit is sold out, or if you, I don't know, if you have the kit, then of course you can use it. If not, then just use something else. All right, so that is the one thing. It also has fringes that are light blue, really, really cute. And that is the one thing. And then I want to use a melody scarf. Melody scarves, for you who maybe don't know, are sort of the same idea like the sari scarves, in the sense that they are all really, really unique. You know, you can see here, this is like basically bands of different fabrics sewn together. So depending on how you wrap it, it will always come out differently. So these two, they don't have fringes, by the way. They're just like straight, okay? So okay, so these two, the melody scarf and this pashmina that was the exclusive to my Leorah kit, I'm going to put them together. And in this case here, I'm going to have this light blue lavender part outside and the pink inside, because I want to, you know, I want this other color today. Okay, so now let's just put that together with the melody scarf, line it up sort of more or less so it is sort of equal. Getting stuck in myself. All right, and now what we're doing is, because I told you this is a hybrid between a side ruffle wrap and the Israeli turban. So what we're doing now with these two is basically just that we are doing an Israeli turban, maybe like this, right behind the side ruffle wrap, okay? So just placing it down, I'm going to move this part back a little bit so I see a little bit more of the melody scarf. Then I'm going to cross over behind my head. 1 second. Okay, so the next thing is, of course, if you know the Israeli turban, you're going to tug a little bit so it is nice and tight, because that is really, really crucial so it doesn't slip. You bring it up, you cross over like this, you cross over again, and then you release the tension and just sort of slide them in here in the sides. But you can, of course, now sort of play with this before you tug it away to see where, like, what do you want to have in the front, what do you want to have featured, what you want to show. So I think now in the combination between that pashmina and the melody scarf, of course, the melody scarf is a little bit more, like it speaks a little bit more because of the pattern, of course, right? So I'm going to feature that one a little bit more, have that sort of lying on top like this. So now I tucked it away, sort of. As always, I have no idea how I look from the back, so you gotta cut me some slack. But you know what, honestly, in my real life I also never check how I look from the back, so I really have no excuses. Alright, sweeties, so now what we do, or what is left to do, is that we're going to do a side ruffle wrap with this part. Now, I have done already a tutorial on the pure side ruffle wrap, but I'm going to explain shortly to you again what I'm doing, okay? So for most scarves, you will need to put a double knot here. So the first one we did already, and the second one I'm going to put right on top of that. There might be some scarves that don't need it, but I'd rather be on the safe side. So now you take the scarf that, or depending on where you want to start, it doesn't matter. The one that comes out towards the back, I'm taking that and I'm sort of pushing it through itself, through this part of the petal soft that is coming upwards, okay? This part. And I'm going to push it from the back to the front, and I always have like a finger in this loop so it doesn't pull through completely, okay? And now I do the same thing towards the back again and have it like this. Okay, so you can see already the idea, if this is a new concept to you, what we're doing. Now this one comes out towards the front. So I'm starting from the front and go towards the back. And I'm going to like push it through this part here that came from here. So I'm going to just feed it through towards the back. And again, I'm going to just have a finger here to stop it from sliding through all the way. And the important thing is that you keep it close to the center knot, sort of, you know, so it doesn't like spread all over the place. For this purpose, it looks just really nice if it's dense, compact together. So now I do the same thing. I'm gonna bring it back towards the front. Again, I'm going to have my finger in the loop, like this. And so I'm just finishing off the whole rest of the scarf, depending on, you know, how long it is and all of these things. I'm just going to go back and forth and back and forth. And the nice thing about this is that you do not have to be like super neat, because the whole thing is that this is going to like create itself, you know. The side ruffle web is super spectacular because it, first of all, it always looks different, and it sort of creates itself. You don't really have to do much. So what I like to do with the side ruffle wrap, you can of course now open those loops up, you know, like pull them apart a little bit so they become more fluffy and poofy. And if you're, for example, using a sari scarf to do this part here, that can also be super spectacular. And it also like it stands more, because the sari scarf, the structure or the fabric of the sari scarves, or the what's it called, the harmony scarf, I think, that is just really perfect for that. So, but what I also really like to do, especially with scarves that are not as poofy and don't stand as well as those kinds of scarves, I like to keep it dense together, because that has a whole charm of its own, you know. So I'm really like pushing it together, so I have an ornament right here and just here. So here we have the part of the side ruffle wrap, basically like a very dense one. Of course, you can do whatever you want with this. And here we have the part of the Israeli turban, which is well loved and well known in our little wrapping community. So that is all it is. So we combined, again, like in so many other videos, we combined two things that we know and love already and made something new out of it that we will also know and love, you know what I mean? So yeah, let me just turn around and show you how it looks. All right, sweeties, I hope you enjoyed this. Now, I promised you that I'm going to, at the end of the video, show you what else you can do with this wrap. So the thing is, you know, sometimes you get tired, right? We all have busy lives. We are all going through stuff. And sometimes during the day, we still want to look pretty, but we get tired and it gets heavy or it gets hot or whatever, you know? So the great thing about this wrap and about wrapping it the way I did is that within a second, you can just take off this like that, and you're left with a side ruffle wrap, and you can go on with your day. You just have to like adjust a little bit where it had been like pushed down too much or something. So you can go on with your day and you're set, like there is nothing wrong with this, right? So you're set with a perfect, like a perfect side ruffle wrap. And I thought that, because that is exactly what happened to me the other day when I sort of played with the idea of this wrap, because, you know, after like, I don't know, 8-9 hours, you start to feel like dragging your feet a little bit, but you still want to be pretty because we're all queens, right? So I thought, okay, so let's just take the part of the Israeli turban off, and we're still, you know, we're still good enough to wear our crowns like that. So I just thought that that would be a very nice touch for those of you who are like me and get tired and we don't all have superpowers, right? And besides that, also, you know, sometimes you just need something special, like a little bit more special, for a event or something, and then you get home, you get into the car for driving home, and you just take that part off, and you're still covered and you're pretty. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hope that was a nice sort of touch to the whole thing, and that it's gonna help you, or if you have to go home and like milk the cows or feed the goats. You know what I mean? All right, sweeties, that is it. I'm rambling, but I had so much fun, and thank you so much for being here with me, because really this community really means a lot to me, and I'm so glad to have so much support from you. It's just heartwarming and really lovely, and I'm so grateful. So thank you so much. Okay, sweeties, so of course you will find everything that I've been speaking about in the description box down below. This scarf here I can only link as Leorah kit, so depending on when you see this might still be available or not, but you can of course, you know, find anything else in that color scheme, or just go for something totally different. It's all good. Okay, so just so you know, I'm going to have to link this as a Leorah kit, and besides that, you can of course use my affiliate code, which is Queen Leorah in all caps and one word, which looks like that. It's going to give you 5% off your order, and I hope you're blessed by this video. Leave me your comments and your feedback, of course, in the comment section down below. And besides that, I'm going to see you here next time for my next video. If you're new here, before you leave, please subscribe to my channel, and up until next time, go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.